Good morning and namaste to all of you. Today, the subject before us is the secret of the five sheets, Panchakosha, and the session is going to be packed. I can assure you that we have a very rich Vedantic feast before us this beautiful morning. The subject is taken from the Taittiriya Upanishad, one of the most important Upanishad, and in the second chapter of the Taittiriya Upanishad, it begins with a profound sentence, a profound Vedic sentence. Brahma vidapnoti param. Brahma vidapnoti param. The knower of a Brahman attains the highest. The knower of a Brahman attains the highest. The whole of a Vedanta, nay, the whole of a religion, is packed into this little statement. The knower of a Brahman attains the highest. It tells us right away that the spiritual journey is not a journey in space, it is not a journey in a time, it is a journey of knowledge. From ignorance to knowledge is the spiritual journey. How do you know this? Because the words are the knower of a Brahman, the emphasis on the word, the knower, the jnata. So it's not a journey in a space, it's not that you have to wait to go somewhere. If you go to Banaras or Vrindavan, the spiritual journey usually start in this country by people taking up their passports and getting that a visa to India and a backpacking to India. You don't have to go to India or a Banaras or a Vrindavan. You don't have to go to Makkah or a Jerusalem. You don't have to go to any place. You don't even have to go to heaven. After death, you have to go to heaven under the abode of a Vishnu, the abode of a Shiva, Kailasa, Vaikuntha. No, 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 no. It's not a journey in space. It's not a journey in a time either. That you have to wait until such and such a time when God will be incarnated back on earth again. In a Hinduism, you have so many incarnations of a God. You have to wait till God comes back again to earth again, second coming of a God. No, you don't have to wait a particular time. You don't even have to wait until a death. You God seems to be hiding behind the veil of a death. That after death, the post-mortem religion. No, it's not a journey in time. You don't have to wait for something to happen. It's rather a journey. The Upanishad tells us that a knowledge from ignorance to knowledge. What ignorance and what knowledge? From spiritual ignorance to spiritual knowledge. But what do I mean by spiritual ignorance? The Upanishad is very clear on this point. Ignorance about who or what we are. Right at this moment. Who are we? What are we? The Upanishad claims, contrary to our fondest belief, if we do not know who we are, Swami Vivekananda would sometimes say with a touch of a pathos. He would look at the people, the great sadness, he would say, if only you knew who we really are. If only you knew yourself as you truly are. So the knowledge of, we do not have the knowledge who we are, that is ignorance. And getting that knowledge, perfect knowledge, the knower of a Brahman attains the highest. Getting that knowledge is a knowledge that is a spiritual knowledge. So spiritual ignorance to spiritual knowledge, that is a spiritual journey. I am not talking about a secular ignorance, about a physics or a mathematics or a Sanskrit. That are one kind of a ignorance and that are remitted by secular knowledge. But here we are talking about spiritual ignorance and spiritual knowledge. So it's a journey from ignorance to knowledge. Brahma vidapnoti param. The knower of a Brahman attains the highest. What is a Brahman then? Satyam, dhyanam, anantham, Brahma. This is what we are discussed last time when we met. Beautiful definition, perhaps the best definition, if there can be definition of a God. The most beautiful definition of a God that I have come across, and we discussed it in detail last time. Okay, I found this book by a Christian theologian of Eastern Orthodox Church, David Bankley Hart, an English theologian, who has written this whole book God as existence, consciousness, bliss. And he says it's the Hindu formulation of a Satta Chitta Ananda, Satchidananda. This is the most sophisticated definition of a God arrived at by humankind ever, but does not concern us today. God as Satyam, Dhyanam, Anantham, translating as God is ultimate reality, God is consciousness, super consciousness, God is infinity, infinite reality consciousness is a God. That is the definition given by the Taittiriya Upanishad. But that does not concern us today, it's not on the table. What is on the table is how do we realize this God? Where he is it? Where is this Brahman? Is infinite reality. Knowing Brahman, one realizes the Brahman. Well, how do you get to know Brahman? That is the question. And that's a question we shall deal with today, this morning. The Upanishad goes on this answer this question. How do you realize this Brahman? How do you undertake this knowledge? This is a journey of a spiritual knowledge. First of all, we have to know where Brahman is. Where Brahman is, the Upanishad says, Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Paramyobhyo Man. You have to know this Brahman as hidden in the sacred space of the cave. Mystical language, let's see what it means. Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam, which is existing in the cave, in the sacred space of the cave. What is this cave? Where is this cave? Let us go take it a look inside and find out the Brahman. Shankaracharya says that the cave is a Buddhi Guha. Guha means a Buddhi Guha, the cave of the intellect. But Vidyaranya, the more in a keeping with the Upanishads, another great post Shankara Advaita master Vidyaranya in the Panchadashi, he says the cave means a system of five interlocking caves. Guha means the five sheets of the human personality. Human personality. There are these five sheets of the human personality is what is called the cave. Guha. What are the five sheets? So this is what we shall take a look at. The Upanishad that tells us that if we look at ourselves, we find five layers of five sheets of our human being, and this is a compared to poetically to a cave, or maybe a system of a cave. You know, there is a saying in a Sanskrit in the Himalayas where Vedanta compared to a lion, Vedanta Kesari. The saying goes like that when the lion in the deep, dark, gloomy forests of a philosophy, when the lion of a Vedanta roars, all the jackals of the other philosophies run their lives. Now, I'm sure other philosophies would beg to differ it. What the Vedantins like to think about to themselves, you know. But anyway, the lion of a Vedanta is in the cave. And the cave is it's not a one cave, but it's a interlocking cave system of five caves or five sheets of human personalities. And that's what we are going to go deep in those caves and confront the lion of a Vedanta Kesari. But you need not to be scared. Why? Because the lion, you yourself, it's your true nature, it's you, who we really are truly. We're going to find out at this morning. Now, the taken up by Upanishads is that of a very good teacher. A good teacher, always takes the student from where the student is to where the teacher wants to be, from the near to the far, from what is to be what shall be, from the known to the unknown. It's a poor teacher who comes and says, Brahman is infinity, existence, consciousness, and a bliss. What? Don't understand. But Upanishad says, follow me. We shall go step by step. We shall start with what is the most obvious to all of us, which have become none of us can deny. It want to find out who we are. Well, the Upanishad says, who do you think are right now? And our answer is, I am this. This is who I am. This body, physical body, and the Upanishad starts there. It seems in ancient India, Arundhati Nakshatra, when you know husband and a wife they get married, and one of the rituals in the marriage is to show a faint star in the night sky called the Arundhati Nakshatra. Now, the bridal shows that star step by step. So, first you point out to a tree, branch of a tree, and then they said, look at the bright star just above the tip of that branch, and then look near that bright star just below it. There is a faint star, and near it is another faint star. If you point to that straight away, you know it, but the girl doesn't know it. You have to take her step by step. So the objective is not the branch of the tree. The objective is not even the brighter star. The objective is the faint star called Arundhati Nakshatra. In Sanskrit, this is called Arundhati Nyaya. We process the methodology of Arundhati. When you go from the known to the unknown, every good teacher does it. Any school teacher knows this method. The Upanishad says, alright, since we are most familiar with the body, physical body, let's start with the body. You think you are the body, we want to know who we are, who I am. I feel I am the body. Let's start with the body. This body is called Annamaya Kosha, literally pervaded by food. This body is what we eat and drink. I heard a lecture by a scientist who said, you are food rearranged. Food is presented to you on your table, and in our breakfast or in a lunch, we have to food arranged in front of us, rearranged in front of us. That's what the scientist said. Vedanta would agree almost. Vedanta would say yes, the body is food rearranged. In the name of the body, even in the Upanishad called Annamaya Kosha, pervaded by food. It's a product of a food, it's a modification of what we eat and drink. A fun quote. Italian actress said, the secret of my beauty, secret of this, it is a pasta. So, Annamaya, there's a physical body of a skin and a bone and a blood and a flesh. This is Annamaya. Now, the Upanishad says, take a close look at this. Are we really this body? Are we really this body? Why not? Where the first, what to begin with? There are so many reasons, one after another, powerful reasons, disturbing reasons, which show us that why we cannot the body. First of all, the body changes. So, the same body was the body of a little boy or a girl, and then a teenager, then a young man or woman, and then now a middle-aged woman, now old person. So much a change in the body, from little guy to this old person. So much a change, and yet we feel I am the same person. I was the one who is a little kid. I am the one who is an old man. Vajaspati Misra, the great 10th century, a Vedanta scholar, he was a prodigy. He was a master of a different philosophies, who has written books as a different Hindu philosophies. Is called Sarvatantra Swatantracharya, the master who is independent of all philosophies. Anyhow, he has a beautiful book called Bhamati Nibandha, where he explains Advaita Vedanta. It's a commentary on Shankaracharya's commentary on the Brahma Sutras. He says that touchingly, heart touchingly says, I, who was a little boy playing on the lap of my grandfather, I am now sitting with my grandson on my lap. Yet I am the same one. I am the same one, that is elderly lady who told me just a few months ago. She was walking past a shopping window and she saw the reflection and she first thought in the mind, who is this old lady? And she said, it is me. And she says, just seen this in 30 years ago, this was a young girl. You should think about psychologically what it a tremendous change this body undergoing. I don't think that I was that a little guy was somebody else, and the middle age is somebody else, and now I am somebody else. No, I think I am the same person. I am the same person, but the body is certainly not the same. Body is certainly not the same. Body is changing continuously. How can I the body, physical body? Another thing, the body is always an object. Do I know the body? Yes, I am always aware of the body. I can see the body. I can touch the body. Internally, I can always feel the body. That's what is pain, body pain. And I can smell, unfortunately, smell the body. So, all five senses of operate on the body very clearly reveal to the five senses. I am the knower of the body. The body is a known object. In Sanskrit, I am the drashta. The body is a drashya. How can I be the body? The knower and the known of two different entities. So the knower is a me, obviously. That's what I feel. I never feel the body is a knowing me. I look at the hand and I may feel I'm looking at my hand and never get the feeling that the hand is looking back again me. That would be the so weird. Okay? In, think about it. And what is the true of the hand is the entire body. You look at the body, you sense the body. The body is not a sense that to you. So you are the drashta, the seer, sakshi, and the body is the seeing, seen. You are not the body. Other example, always we think of ourselves as a conscious. We never think of ourselves as an unconscious. Okay? And the body is a something that we are conscious of the drashta, and this is a one reason slightly different but a related reason is a what the same Sanskrit body is a jada, inert, insentient. We always regard ourselves as a chetana, sensuous, aware, conscious. We are beings of a consciousness, beings of an awareness. So whatever we think about, what ourselves is, first of all, know that we are aware, sentient. Chaitana, the body is not. To the extent of the body is a sentient, it is pervaded by my sentience. I pervade the body as an sentient being. So the body is not me. There are many reasons. Page after page. You don't have to come Vedanta. Every philosophy, Indian philosophy, except Charvaka, all the Hindu philosophies, all the Buddhist philosophies, all the Jaina and Sikh philosophies, all the Indian philosophies will tell you that you are not the body, and then give you the reasons, page after page, page after page. Let me give you a little more complicated reasons. There are simple reasons of why we are not the body. A little complicated reasons put be this. All Indian philosophies believe in the law of a karma siddhanta, cause and effect siddhanta. What we experience today, effects of causes long past. We happiness and the misery which we are experiencing today is a due to what have done in the past. If you are happy today, the law of karma tells us that at some time in this life or earlier life, you must be having a particularly nice to somebody else, somebody where. If you miserable to do something, you nasty happens to, well, you been a not go boy or a girl, so somewhere you remember. So cause and effect, that is the law of karma siddhanta, karya karana bhava. Now, whatever is happening in this body, since its birth, must have had some cause. Follow this carefully. Effects of which we are aware in this body from the very beginning of the birth itself, they must have some cause if you follow the law of karma. So those causes must have existence before the birth of the body. Hence, I must have been there in some form earlier than must have been other life that generated some karma which has led to this body. Are you with me so far? If I am getting effects in this body, happiness and misery, sukha and dukkha, the causes of that must be prior to this life. Not only that, there are many things that people do in their lives, a good and a bad, and then to seems to get all results in this life. So if they are going to results, we will like just after death. The body does not accompany that after death. So they must be apart from their body. They must not be the body. To uphold the law of karma, this is the one reason, one of the reasons given in Vedanta. To uphold the law of karma, we must admit that we existed before this body was born, and we will exist after this body dies. In fact, every religion takes this for granted. Without this, we cannot have religion. Think about it. There must be some post mortem existence, some heaven, some hell, some kind of a consequence. Otherwise, there can be no religion. If death is an end of the body, end of our existence, so that there can be no religion. So not only Vedanta, every religion accepts that he must be something other than a body. So for all these reasons, body is a vikari, changeable from childhood to babyhood to old age. Body is a vikari, changing. I am nirvikara, unchanging principle. Body is a drashya, an object of experience. I am the drashta, the seer, experiencer. Body is a achaitana, jada, inert, insentient. I am chaitana, conscious, sentient. The body is a product of a karma, comes and goes. I exist before this body, before birth, I exist after death, for so many reasons. The Annamaya, thing made of a food, cannot be me. And indeed, the Upanishad says, the real you is a something different from the Annamaya, this physical body. Anyantaratma Pranamaya, Taittiriya Upanishad says, look deeper. You are something deeper than this body. What is the deeper than this body? Something interior to this body. Pratyak, antara means interior. Something interior, something more subtle, sukshma, more subtle, something more subtle, something more parveza, vyapaka. What is that? The life forces, prana shakti. The Sanskrit word is a pranamaya, pervaded by life. The life force is what you mean by life force is a what pervades this body. Life itself, breathing, the breathe in and out. The breathing in and out is due to the life forces are called prana. When we learn yoga, we learn breathing. It is called pranayama. Pranayama means a control of the life forces. Is a blood flowing through our veins. There is oxygen being assimilated into the blood. There is a food being converted into different parts of the body. So much is going on in the body. A variety of chemicals is produced in the body by biochemical. Once a doctor told me, Swami, Maharajji, our liver, it a little liver to which we have, produces so many different kinds of biochemicals. So that would be require 500-acre factory to produce a kind of biochemical once human liver produces. So all these are life processes surging through our body all the time, which keeps our body alive, which maintains this body, which gives us energy. Our experience of a breathing is a prana. Our experience of a hunger is a prana. Our experience of a thirst, our experience of a health, energy, our experience of a sickness, lack of energy. This is due to pranamaya sharira. The body remaining the same, the prana keeps surging like a through our body. We are healthy not so much because of the body, we are healthy because of the pranamaya sharira. Yoga, Ayurveda, the holistic medicine systems of the world, not only from India, from all over the world. They don't act on the body directly, they try to act on the pranamaya sharira. The Chinese word for that is a chi. The Japanese word is a ki. So they try to act on this pranamaya sharira, and that produces physical health of the body. So the pranamaya sharira, Upanishad says, you are the pranamaya, you are life itself. And we think that, well, that seems to be a pretty good argument. Yes, I might be life force. But then we'll look closely, look at the pranamaya sharira. Is it a changing? Yes, it is a changing. Sometimes you are energetic, sometimes you have absolutely dead tired, sometimes I am healthy, sometimes I feel absolutely sick. Continuously changing this pranamaya sharira. The prana surges in and out of the body and is continuously changing. And I am unchanging. I am the same person who is ill. I am the same person who was cured. But the prana has changed. And same person who is hungry, now I couldn't eat a bite more. I'm a same person. The prana is a change. That is, it becomes a sentient. So prana is a changing. I am not changing. The same reasons apply. The prana is a drishyam. I am not aware of the prana. We activity in the prana all the time. When you Buddhist meditation, you do follow your breath and a breathing in and a breathing out. What you are doing, but you are becoming aware of the prana. So you are that which is aware of the prana. The prana is drishyam. You are a drashta. You are the knower. The prana is something that known. Okay. Again, you are conscious. Chaitana. The prana is a jada. In Sanskrit, insentient. And for all of these reasons, because the prana is a changing, vikari, you are a nirvikara, and changing. Because the prana is a drishyam, you are the drashta. Knower and the known. Prana is a known, you are the knower. The prana is an insentient jada, you are sentient. For all these reasons, it cannot be the prana. You must be something deeper. And the Upanishad comes in and says, indeed, you are not the pranamaya sharira. See, first it said you are the prana. And we felt that convinced, so that when they ask the deeply, think deeply, and you see that becomes an object. Just as this body is an object, the prana is a subtle object. You can't see it, but can certainly feel it. Nah? So it's not you yourself. And the Upanishad says, Anyanontaratma manomayaha. Go deeper. Look deeper within yourself. Antar means deeper, deeper than the life processes. Pratyak, insight. Sukshma, subtler. Vyapaka, more pervasive. What can be subtler and more interior to life processes? Says mind. The mind, manomaya kosha, our emotions, our thoughts, our memories, indeed our entire personality. That's you, isn't it? And we say, yeah, that's it, right. Right now, I am fine, really. And it is true that most of us, educated, grown up in a mature people, we identify ourselves without personality. Do you know? That's we think really are speaking. No matter how much of Vedanta we read, we mostly we get stuck at the personality. I am my likes and dislikes of my ideas, my thoughts, my memories, my identity, my feelings, my personality. It's who I am. Whenever the advertisements, ads, discover who you are. What they mean is your personality. It means the mind. The Upanishad says just a minute, not so fast. Go slow. Are you aware of your mind? Yes, I am aware of my mind. When I'm happy, I know that I am happy. When I'm unhappy, I know that I am unhappy. When I have desires, I know that I have desires. Of course, I want this. I want chocolate. So I want chocolate. That desire is there, and I am that which wants that. That wants that object of a desire. Hmm? Clearly, I cannot be the mind. Why not? Many reasons. So one reason, of course, is the mind is something that is experiencing. But just as the body experienced, the prana is experiencing. Our thoughts are also experienced, our personality experienced by you, not by anybody else. They can see it from outside, they see from our behavior, but we experience our own idea, thoughts, memories from inside as well. We are privileged, blankish of a first person point of view. So we experience it, the mind also becomes a drishyam, an aspect of knowledge, and I am become the drishta, I am seer of the mind. The mind becomes something changing, and of course the mind changes. Somebody said we have a 16,000 thoughts in our waking daytime till we go to sleep. Every day we have a 16,000 approximately thoughts, not different thoughts, mostly the repetitive motive, useless, but a 16,000 thoughts in a day. If were not useless, we would be wiser than any Nobel Prize winner. But mostly there are repetitive patterns of the thinking, but they are different thoughts. And I am the one to whom these thoughts come. I cannot be all of that. Desires, so many desires, and I am one. I the desirer. Hmm? I am one. I don't think I am many. I am one until unless I have a multiple personality disorder. But I think I am a one person. Desires are many, many. I remember